Hello everyone, good
Hey,
evening.
sir.
So today what we'll do is have discussion, and if you have any question you can ask me and I'll try to answer. Just try to ask questions and clear your doubts in this session. Yeah, Biman. Yeah, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Yes, sir. My question is that the last workshop you asked us to explore websites. So, sir,
Yes.
what should we look into the website? Like, for example, when I was using the Zomato app, I like one feature that when the screen was loading, there is a some food fact, like you walk this much uh, steps, you burn this much calories. Means there was something like food related facts. So that was a very good uh, reference.
Hmm.
So what else should we look in the website when we are analyzing it?
So what you checked or what you looked at is a little advanced level. That's basically kind of advanced gamification or something like that, right? But when you're starting, just start with the flow. Try to go to the website first and then see how the flow is. Or if you're on the home page, try to see what are the different components or different sections on the home page. Okay. And then go to that particular section. If it's a header, then see like how the header has been designed. What are the different sub elements of that header? How does the image look like? Or what is the size of the font? Okay, what is the size of the sub font, and is there a call to action? If yes, what is the design? Okay, what is the size? So then basically first is start with the overall structure of the page and then get into the minute details. So start doing this. Okay, so first start with like the home page, then understand the home page and keep the structure in your mind. Fine. And once you are done with that, then go to some other pages like product page, product detail page, about page, contact page, and so on. So try doing this, and once you're done with this, you will get a lot of different patterns. Okay, and keep those patterns in your mind, or if not in mind, if not possible to keep all in mind, so you should at least try to draw that somewhere. Okay, sketch it down. So and repeat this with a lot of websites. Okay, and make it a regular practice and continue doing this for like 2-3 months, and you will see a big difference in you. Okay, after 2 or 3 months, if you're given a task, it will become very easy for you to draft the wireframe first and then the hi-fi designs. So your process will become very easy, automatically start coming to you, coming in your mind. So that's why I
Okay.
requested you to do this. For example, like in 3 months, if you're able to 3 into 4 is 12, 12 into 3 is 36. So by the end of like 3 months, you will be done with 36 different websites or applications, right? By the end of 36 website or like 3 months, what you will have different patterns. It could be like 36 unique patterns. Okay. That could be like the UI pattern or like the information architecture of the different pages. And later on, this is what will help you become a good designer. So the more you explore, more you create resources of these patterns, the better you will become. Okay, so that's why I always say, you should always go explore products, see what kind of messaging is there, what is kind of flow. Or so for example, like if it's you're talking about this food delivery app, right? So if there is a food delivery app, how many steps uh, the user had to take to finally place the order? Similarly, now once you have checked that, what you can do is you can play around and like try to improve that experience. And if it's for like 4 steps, 5 steps, can you complete the same or do that same flow or complete that same flow in like 3 steps? Can you reduce 1 step? If yes, that would be big
Yes.
achievement. So just try exploring these things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So also, yes, sir, like finding the wow factors too.
Yeah, first start with
Yeah.
the basics and then start with this wow factor.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So like for
Yeah.
example, I visited a website. So there
Mhm.
in that website, they also included a, like when you're in the website, some means pleasing sound is to come out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah,
that
so you
was
can
a
add
very,
this
yeah.
add these small elements to enhance the overall experience of the users. But again, you need to
Yes, sir.
consider a lot of different things. Now, if this website was designed for someone who is from village, who has limited bandwidth and so on, then if I was the designer, I would have not included this audio. Also, I would have removed all the images, right? So depending upon who
Yes,
you
sir.
are designing for, so you also need to think about the usability and the accessibility. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Ravalekar, Ravalekar. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Ravalekar.
Yeah. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can call me Shubham or Shubham Karoti.
Okay, Shubham is good.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, my question was related to personas, because
Mhm.
sometimes what happens is it is not always possible to address all the pain points into one or two personas,
Hmm.
because what are the pain points I want to address, I have
Yeah.
actually already addressed into those personas,
Hmm.
but I want to add a unique feature, but if I add the pain point for that feature
Hmm.
to the persona, then it will be, very long.
In what sense? Can you explain? Like, for example, if
Mhm.
if have defined three personas, and if there is a feature or a pain point that's not common to the other two or three, but it's common to the third one, right? That's what you're saying, or fourth one, right? Or something else?
Uh, Actually, the thing is, in my persona, there are only two type of targeted users.
Hmm.
Uh, One is old aged user group,
Hmm.
and the other is college going students and working professionals.
Correct. Okay.
Okay, so I have developed the persona for both of it and added pain points according to the user group.
Hmm.
But
Fine.
and also I want to add unique feature later on. But for
Hmm.
that, I have to address a pain point in the persona, right? Or is it okay if I won't mention it in the persona, but I will give that feature importance,
See,
even if
in
it is not in
okay,
the pain
perfect. Got it.
points of persona.
Got it. So in the persona, you don't define the features, okay? You just try to understand like, who the target group is, and also try to figure out or understand their pain points and their motivations or their expectations or their goals, right? So instead of writing and thinking from the future point of view, you should think about what are the current problems and how you can solve it.
Okay, okay,
Okay? The
got
features
it.
and all happens in the ideation stage itself.
Okay,
You don't.
okay, I got it. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
means that I can add that feature and give it importance later on in the
Yes,
process, right?
yes, you can.
Okay,
And
okay. Thank you so much.
also remember, sometimes what happens like when we are designing for diverse target users or types and groups. So in that case, what we do is we always consider one, okay, one as the primary persona, and that primary persona should actually be representing around 70 or 80% of the target user.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's what we
Yeah,
do. We try
got
to
it. Mhm.
create the design and the experience for the primary persona, and then also try to satisfy the needs of the other secondary personas too.
Okay,
Okay, yeah,
got it.
cool. Yep. And now, Avish, yes.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Last, I'm not attending the last class, but I have some question regarding to web designing.
Yeah.
The bootstrap is important in the web designing.
See, Bootstrap is a framework, okay? So that's basically a framework. You can use it to create your website, but you don't need to know that. It's not necessary.
Okay.
So it's a kind of design system, okay? So design system or a developed framework that you can use to design. But it's good to understand this, explore this, and see like how are the different components and what are the different functions and functionalities there in this Bootstrap. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, not just Bootstrap, you should try and explore other design system also.
Okay.
The more you explore, the better you will get in design, and by exploring more, you will start understanding the basic specifications of different components that's used in that framework. For example, different design systems will have different button size, okay, different font size for headers, or like the heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and also some might have like 4 or 5 different button size or CTAs, okay, designs of CTAs, and some might have like 10. And now
Yes.
you should go and like learn those, and also like try to understand the philosophy behind that design system. That's why I say like more you learn, more you understand this design system, you'll get better in your own design. Okay. Then you will also start understanding the sizes, the interaction about different components, be it like toggle or checkbox, then button or tab, and so on. You getting it? So
Yes.
different design system will have different sizes and all. So by reading more and exploring more, you will at least like come to a conclusion that, oh, so most of them are using these size. That means that is since that is widely used, or most of these systems are using that, then you can also start using the same. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So that's how you should learn. That you should
Okay.
practice.
Any
Yeah.
inspirational site to like check how to website design?
Go and read a lot of blogs, articles. Go to this. gallery websites, like where these good websites are listed. So like awards and other websites. So that's what you can see.
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I can explore the website.
Yeah, you should explore that. But again, just exploring won't help. So you'll have to like no, document it. Like, okay, so why do you like that website? What is the newness in that website? Document it somewhere. When you start documenting, then only you will learn. If you'll not document, you will not learn. Just by going, looking at it, and then moving on to the next website won't help you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
So
so
whatever you're
much.
learning, write it somewhere. And
Okay.
later on, when working on your design, when you're working on any clients or like any website design, so then you should refer this document and check like this is something new that I can produce in my website.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Anurag,
Am I audible?
yes.
Yeah. So my question is basically a bit sort of advanced level. I
Uh-huh.
hope that it's okay to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my first question is basically I have three questions. First question is what all artifacts to include. I mean, how to decide which all. Like for example, we have a fixed set of artifacts which we have to include no matter what. For example, personas, and for example, we require that information architecture, user flow. So these are must-have artifacts. So
Hmm.
what all are the ideal amount of artifacts that we should be including in our portfolio so that it does not get that much long?
Generally what I do is when I'm working on any product, I first decide or basically analyze and see that okay, so this interview if I conduct, I can get good information, okay, good insight from the users. So then I conduct interview and then create affinity map. Okay, in some cases I don't need to like create or do this card sorting. Okay, so then I don't do card sorting, then I just do this affinity map and then move on to the empathy and the persona. But in case if I see I might need the help of the user, so then I also conduct this card sorting exercise. Okay, and in case if I see that yeah, see the journey is very complex and I need to draft the journey, so I also design the user journey map. Fine, again depending upon project to project,
Uh-huh.
some projects are complex, I do try to. Other like where the journey is very simple, I don't include that. Fine. Similarly,
Uh-huh.
yes, this task flows and the user flows, this is important, so I try to include those things also. And the wireframes, the most important thing what I do include in each of the project that I work is basically the red routes. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that is the most important journeys of the user. Okay, then I use user flows. Yes, that's very important because that really guides like what should be the journey or the user will take. Okay, after that, yes, getting into the wireframe or sketches or wireframe and then doing the testing and then doing the lo-fi, hi-fi, and finally the testing. So I try to like cover
Uh-huh.
these things in most of the project. Okay, sometimes yes, I try to also design this service blueprint. I do try.
Uh-huh.
If the process is complex, I do try to draw that too. So these are the most common ones that I do. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next follow-up question is basically, should we focus that much on usability, report, which should we include that in our portfolio?
You should. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Like, why you're then following the UX process? Then you can go and like just create any product. UX process means involving the users. Okay. So I focus a lot on the usability testing. So it's very
Okay.
important. And I don't just conduct like usability testing once, but I try to like conduct at least two or more than two times. And every time I don't call the customers or like engage the end users, but yes, when I'm done with the wireframes, to engage the other people in my team or within the company,
Hmm.
because we also have like expert in a company, right? They have been working on this
Uh-huh.
product. They know their pain points, right? So I try to
Uh-huh.
do usability testing with the internal team, and then once
Uh-huh.
it's in good shape, then I go out and then do the testing with the real customers and end users. Okay, and that's basically the first round with the wireframes from the
Uh-huh.
sketches. If it's very lo-fi,
Uh-huh.
it's a very complex product. If not, then I do the
Uh-huh.
lo-fi design and wireframes and then go. So that's what I do.
Cool. So next question is reducing. I mean, since I am currently working on my portfolio, so
Hmm.
the issue there which I am facing is that it has almost a huge bulk of data from researches that all the research and all the user interviews and everything. So I'm sure that it is faced by most of the people that they have included a plethora amount of data in their portfolio, but they don't know how to reduce it.
Perfect, got
So
it.
I want to, yeah. Please
Okay,
elaborate on that.
cool. So here, what you need to do is like you need to create two versions of the case studies. Okay, one version should be like basic, and here what you should do is like you should not put everything, each and everything on this part, this version of the case study. What you should do is like you should put the insights from that activity. Okay, just mention that yes, I did comparative analysis, and these are the 3 learnings from the comparative analysis, for example. Okay, and you can have a link to the detailed report. Okay, so if you're interested to know more about like how I conducted and what was the different activities that I did here, so you can check out here, and then you can give the. Okay, and similarly, like if you're talking about the so on, so you can say like, okay, so I conducted like 10 interviews, and out of from that I learned like the most common learning or the insights from this were like this is this, and the problems that the people faced were this is this. So instead of mentioning like what you got or what each person said, so you should just summarize that in 1 paragraph or like 2 paragraphs. Okay, and then have a link to the details of each of these interviews on a separate page. Okay, so that you can do. And similarly, in the case of the usability testing, so you can have the detail link somewhere else, like basically put that page somewhere else and then have a link on the main case study. That is the shorter version of the case study. Okay, so that is what you do. What you can do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So extremely sorry if I'm taking too much of time, but there are follow-up questions which are getting generated because of this. So I want to clear those out.
Good.
Yeah. So next question is basically that as you said, we have to create 2 versions, right? So one version is going to be the basic one, and the second version is definitely going to be a more elaborated one. So what is your take on this, that where we should put what? Like, for example, in Behance, we have, sort of, obviously it is going to be very graphical in Behance. So what I can gather from this is basically we can use Medium or some, blocks sort of medium where we can, elaborate on that particular detailed portfolio. And on Behance, we can work on the basic one. So what is your take on that?
See, I will have I would have detailed one on my own website, and would have a summarized one on the third party websites. That's what I would do. And but I would use the storytelling, right words, correct words, right presentation, to create a good looking mini case study and put it on different websites like Medium or like other places. Okay, but yes, the presentation should be unique. Presentation should be unique. It's not about the length, it's not about the details, it's about making it clear about your basically showing clearly your process. Okay, your understanding about the UX process, or and you should show and present how you basically approach a problem, and then what are the different things you do to get details about the problem, or basically get into the problem and then find out more details, and then how you use the learning to actually solve the problem. So that that summary, that detail should be there in the case study. Okay, but for that it doesn't mean that detail it out and have a very long case study. Always remember, this hiring manager, they don't spend like more than 2 minutes on any case study, or less than 2 minutes. They spend around like 60-70 seconds to first scan this case study, and then once they like it, then they spend more time. So your process should be very clear. Your learning from different activities should be like clearly presented, and then how you made use of these learnings in your improvement, or creating the product and the solution, that should also be clear. So in one glance, if the hiring manager is able to understand like what you have done and how you utilize this process and like learning from different activities, and so if it's clear, they will go and like read it in detail. Otherwise, they will move on to the next case study. Remember this, like these hiring managers or the senior designer, they get a lot of applications, right? For a single job, like 600, 500, 300, it could be any number depending upon company to company. So you need to stand out in that crowd. So like if there are 300 applications, so how would you stand out? By having a very unique, very powerful presentation and telling a good story. So if I was in your place, I would create short version of my case study, or basically shorter version of my case study on different platforms, but have a very detailed one on my own platform. That's my own website. I don't know like whether you know or not. So I review portfolio every day, like 5-6 portfolios. So this is what my learning is, and it has worked for my students. I know like many people are shy, they don't ask these questions, but everybody needs answer to these kind of questions, right? Like, so you're doing a good job. You're asking question on their behalf, so it's good.
So my last question is importance of you mentioned that storytelling plays a very important role or very vital part in presenting. So how should we go about it? What is your process and how we should have a take on that? How we should present it in our Behance portfolio or in our that in a detailed or wherever you feel it should be there.
So generally what I see is like most of the people say like, this was the problem statement. Then I started working on this. I interviewed like 10 people and I got this insight. I then used the insight to like create this. It's like a very plain flow. But instead of that, if you can add moments from the user's life, adding a code, adding a real problem, instead of writing a plain case study, make it interesting by adding incidents, moments from people's life, so something like that, and have good copy. Each and every headline, instead of saying like stage 1 research, stage 2 XYZ, stage 3, instead of that, like write interesting headlines and connect the story. Talk everything or explain everything or present everything from the user's point of view, like XYZ said this and because of this happened, and XYZ said that and because of this that happened. Otherwise हम लोग क्या करते हैं, I interviewed people, I interviewed this, I got this result, I created the affinity map, so everything is I. So shift the focus towards the users and do everything from their viewpoint, and try to add like a lot of quotes from when you were interviewing, or like what you found, and like when you read somewhere something. So try to use quotes from there. Okay?
Definitely. Actually, after hearing this, I know that I have to change my portfolio completely, because there is what you mentioned, the issues right now you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It is there. It's like most of the part is like I found this and I did this and I did that. So based on that, I was doing it. I was not including the portfolio. Basically, it also gave me an insight that what was lacking, how I was presenting in the past. So
yes,
please go on.
I'll tell you one thing. So abhi like everybody like who's passing his or doing complete after his graduation, or like koi BTech karke, koi kuch karke, so everybody is getting into this UX and UI. Fine.
Yes,
so
yes.
competition बहुत होगा और टफ होगा कंपटीशन. तो उस भीड़ में आपको अलग रहना है, और अलग रहने के लिए आपको बहुत सारी चीजें यूनिक करनी पड़ेंगी. ओके, आपका जो अबाउट अस पेज है, आप अभी हम क्या लिखते हैं कि लाइक आई एम अ यूएक्स डिजाइनर विद अ फोकस ऑन यूजेबिलिटी एंड एक्सेसिबिलिटी, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ एम्पैथी. ये 10-12 कीवर्ड है जो सबके पोर्टफोलियो में होते हैं, राइट? सो सबके पेज में होते हैं. तो उसकी जगह हाउ कैन यू मेक इट मोर इंटरेस्टिंग, क्या कर सकते हो? टॉक अबाउट एन इंसिडेंट from your life that inspired to become a UX designer. What is that? So try to mention that. User experience is important, and also like your background, your culture, वो क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो आपको better UX designer बनाता है from the other people. So basically story tell करो, it's important. Okay, and then random में calculation बना के दिखा दो कि like through my product, if I'm able to save 1 minute of an individual person's life, if my product is being used by, for example, say like 10 लाख, so 10 लाख मिनट में अगर एक दिन में यूज कर रहे हैं, तो एक दिन में मैं 10 लाख लोगों का टाइम वेस्ट होने से बचा रहा हूँ. So basically tell a story. कुछ नंबर्स में डालो. और अभी जैसे आप लोग जैसे प्रेजेंटेशन करते होगे, सर्वे रिजल्ट्स एंड ऑल, राइट? आप बोलते होगे कि most of the people said XYZ. Yeah, most of the people like this, right? So instead of that, start quantifying.
Okay.
Like 80% of the people said, rather than like saying most of the people. So I've seen a lot of people writing this. So
cool. Thank you. That's all.
Don't have like 7 case studies, 8 case studies. Have 2 case studies, 3 case studies, but make that powerful. Yeah. So bro,
thank you.
Yeah. Well,
hi sir. Hi sir. So I had a question. I was going through these UX laws yesterday. So मैंने कभी पहले वो पढ़ा नहीं था, तो मैं कल देख रहा था, तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि वो चीजें मैं पहले से इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है,
एकदम.
तो one thing is like I don't used to have this confidence that I should approach clients for freelancing. मतलब वो कब कैसे आएगा कि मतलब मैं जानता हूँ इतना, तो I can approach clients for freelance work.
So don't worry कि आपको आता है नहीं आता है, आपको आपके क्लाइंट से अधिक आता है. हमेशा याद रखो ये चीज, एंड
Okay.
टेक दिस आउट फ्रॉम योर माइंड दैट आई डोंट नो.
Okay.
अगर
So
डर के जाओगे तो व्हाट विल हैपन, आपको काम नहीं मिलेगा. और अगर गलती से खराब भी कर दोगे तब भी काम नहीं मिलेगा, राइट? सो
okay, right.
करके अगर टाइम काम नहीं मिलता है तो इट्स फाइन. इन दिस प्रोसेस यू विल एटलीस्ट लर्न समथिंग.
Hmm.
तो इसीलिए
Yeah.
अप्रोच एवरीथिंग विद कॉन्फिडेंस, फॉरगेट अबाउट एंड रिजल्ट.
ओके सर. ओके, तो
Yeah.
मतलब अगर मुझे कुछ नहीं भी पता होता है तो फिर भी मैं मतलब कॉन्फिडेंस मैटर करता है, राइट?
कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाओ, घर में आके थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा वर्क करो, थोड़ा सा जो ऑनलाइन सब कुछ रिसोर्स पड़ा हुआ है, और अब तो यू आर पार्ट ऑफ दिस कम्युनिटी, यू कैन आस्क पीपल. पीछे पड़ता
Yes.
दो तीन कि लाइक ना मेरे को ये समझ नहीं आ रहा, आई हैव टू लाइक डिलीवर दिस, लाइक प्लीज हेल्प. कोई और नहीं करेगा तो आई विल हेल्प यू. ओके,
ओके सर.
so you can approach me, you can direct message me and I'll try to help you. So but be confident. जो भी आता है, जितना भी आता है, कॉन्फिडेंट होके जाओ बस.
ओके सर. एंड सर वन थिंग, मतलब आपने जस्ट ही बोला कि 2 केस स्टडी होने से भी चलता है, राइट?
एकदम
सो
चलेगा.
व्हाट आर द आई मीन किस तरह का केस स्टडी रहना चाहिए अगर मैं यूआई यूएक्स को पकड़ूं, तो किस तरह का केस स्टडी, मतलब वो दोनों वेबसाइट होना चाहिए या ऐप या वेबसाइट दोनों होना चाहिए?
It's not about the website or the mobile app. It's about how you were able to solve the problem. Okay, और उसको कितने बढ़िया तरीके से you solve that.
ओके.
Okay, so basically it should show your problem solving skills. Okay,
ओके सर. या.
so that is very important. आपको अगर एक प्रॉब्लम दी गई तो उसको कैसे सॉल्व करते हो, क्या प्रोसेस फॉलो करते हो, और अगर जिसके लिए बना रहे हो क्या उससे आप पूछते भी हो या फिर आप खुद ही अपने आप बना के आप बोलते बना दिया. हम लोग जो प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं वो एंड यूजर के लिए बना रहे होते हैं, तो उसको आपको एंगेज करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. ओके, so
ओके
you need
सर.
to engage those people also. And today, like I was planning to talk about this only, the UX loss.
Okay. Sir, one thing, can you show, if I have a request that can you show your previous works when you started, if it's feasible or not? It would be really great.
Wait, I'll show you one of my बहुत पुराना वेबसाइट.
Yeah, sure. That will be great.
रुको मैं अभी दिखा. Till date, even after spending so many years in the industry, I struggle. Okay, जब मुझे नया टास्क मिलता है तो 5-6 दिन मेरी लग जाती है. उसके बाद में फिर मैं बड़ा हो जाता हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि एवरी टाइम व्हेन यू वर्किंग ऑन न्यू प्रोजेक्ट, आपको उस स्पेस के बारे में कुछ नहीं मालूम होता है. तो आपके 4-5 दिन जो होते हैं वो रिसर्च में जाते हैं, और जब रिसर्च करते हो तो आपको इंडस्ट्री के बारे में, वर्टिकल के बारे में पता लगता है, राइट?
Okay.
सो इसीलिए जिस बोट पे आप सवार हो मैं भी उसी पे सवार हूँ, मेरे को एक्सपीरियंस होने के बाद.
एक चीज और, मतलब आप अगर किसी क्लाइंट से फर्स्ट टाइम मिल रहे हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट ब्रीफ दे रहा है वो, तो आप उनसे कितना टाइम लेते हो, मतलब गेट बैक टू इट?
मतलब यार उसने क्या मांगा है उस पर डिपेंड करता है. उसने बोला कि कोड भेज दो, ठीक है, अगर सब कुछ सही हो गया तो अगर हाँ वो पूछता है कि आइडिएशन भेजो कुछ, है ना, अगर बड़ा कुछ है तो, सो इन दैट केस या आई टेक टाइम, 2-3 दिन 4 दिन.
Okay, and do you show this this persona and this research data to them, or
Sometimes
just you show the?
sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I create it for myself, ताकि मेरे को एक रेफरेंस पॉइंट रहे कि मैं इसके लिए बना रहा हूँ. और उस समय जब मैं बना रहा होता हूँ तो आई डोंट क्रिएट लाइक पूरा ग्राफिकल पर्सन एंड ऑल. आई क्रिएट इट इन आइदर ऑन पेपर या फिर एक रफ सा बना के अपने पास रख लेता हूँ कि मेरे को पता तो रहे कि मैं किसके लिए बना रहा हूँ. Got it?
ओके, सो उनको बस मतलब वायरफ्रेम एंड जो फाइनल डिजाइन रहता है वही दिखाना है, राइट?
नहीं, जरूरी नहीं है. डिपेंडिंग अपॉन लाइक व्हाट यू आर डूइंग एंड फॉर whom you are working. If you are working for someone who follows or who understands this UX process, so again depend upon case to case basis.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
I'll show you first my website, and this is a very old website. I designed this around 2007. Okay, बहुत पुरानी है. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. मेरी स्क्रीन दिख रही है?
Yeah, correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Back in those days, anyway, the website looks like this only, right?
Yes, sir, this is creative.
So this was
For 2007, it is really great, you know.
yeah. उस समय कोई usability UX नहीं होता था ना. I was working as an art director that time. Okay. So this is
It's
what
very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
So
Creativity at its peak, sir.
क्या concept
तो हमें भी सोचने में बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा.
कोई नहीं, करते करते आएगा ना।
हाँ सर, ये क्वेश्चन मेरा भी है। मतलब कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि मुझे बनाना है ऐसा स्क्रीन में, मैं मतलब बनाना चाहता हूँ कुछ यूआई के डिजाइन, बट ऐसा होता है कि समझ में नहीं आता कि किस पर बनाऊं। तो तब ना जाकर पिंटरेस्ट हो गया, फिर ड्रिबल हो गया, देखता हूँ। तो तब क्या होता है कि उनके जैसा ही बनाने लगता हूँ, फिर मतलब वो कॉपी हो जाता
उनसे
है।
इंस्पिरेशन लो, अपना बनाओ। तो आई विल शो यू माय करंट वेबसाइट। ओके, सो दिस इज माय करंट वेबसाइट। कुछ भी नहीं है इसमें।
This is very minimalistic. Like,
So but I'll show you like past works. Okay, so ये बेसिक मिनिमल है, इसमें कुछ नहीं है। और ये बहुत ये भी पुरानी बनी हुई है, मैंने 2015-16 15 की बनी हुई है। ये कुछ यूआईस हैं, मतलब पूरा मोबाइल ऐप ही थे, बट कुछ डाले हुए मैंने इसमें।
Manpreet, in this workshop, are we going to understand designing in mobile UX differently and the web UX differently? Because like,
I'll not get deep into that, but yes, I will talk about, when working for mobile, then what are the things you should consider and how you should leverage the features of the devices. Like device में क्या होता है, Bluetooth है, अगर कुछ application बना रहे हैं, if you can use this Bluetooth, then you should, right? If there is a need of Bluetooth. Similarly, geolocation है, geolocation use कर सकते हो। तो वो सब क्या क्या चीजें हैं, what we should be using. So I'll talk about those things. So one session I'll conduct on that. These are few of my work. Okay, so let me show you this. And this again डिटेल में नहीं है, ठीक है।
so I have a doubt regarding UX resume. Like, according to you, what should we put on UX resume if we don't have any experience or any contracted projects with us?
So you just talk about like what you have done till date. That's it. And but try to create some case studies. Okay, some case studies इसलिए because you need to show them that yes, you have that in you. So basically, it's in you, and you're ready to like put in extra effort, in the sense like you are ready to learn and then work. So show them your skills. Show them that yes, you can work on any problem and can create solutions. That can only be possible by creating some case studies. ठीक है?
Manpreet, have you worked anytime on banking side?
I did, yes.
Okay, like actually there's one scenario where I'm actually working for, like that was related to KYC forms. So if we see KYC forms and all, they're like very lengthy in the banks and all. But here, when it comes to like making it into a mobile version of that, that is like a lengthy step process, right? So how can we minimize that way? Like, is there any suggestions that you can give me?
Again, what you can do is like first basically see like what is the primary information that you want and what could be like taken at a later stage. So segregate those things. Second is instead of creating one long form, create steppers or something like that. Have multiple screens for taking the form, and also have very minimal experience, very clean experience. So if it's necessary to take or have all the fields, then it's necessary. You can't like change that. So here what you can only focus on that is basically change the long form into multiple short forms and have very clean and minimal experience. Okay, and if possible, if you can automate something.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, actually currently I'm studying, I'm doing my BTech engineering in CSE at second year. So I don't know, I'm really fascinated with this UX and how it's going. I think I just want to make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So like after my third year, I'm planning to do my internship. But I don't have any idea like how do I pursue from UX or a UI designer in an internship? Like, can you guide me or something what I can do?
So understand the UX process and parallelly master these UI skills. So see, when you want to get into this industry, you need to master both. Okay. So one is understanding the whole end-to-end UX process, and then using the UX process, how to create good experiences and prototypes. So learn both.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay. So I will teach everything about UX. I'll give you a complete detail about the process and all. So understand that well, and also I'll give you like some knowledge and some good tips on UI and like how that should be designed and all. So इतना सीखने के बाद में practice a lot, because practice is something that will make you very good in this.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Hello, sir. Just want to ask
Yeah.
a question regarding like a conflict between a tech guy and a designer. Like designer may have a lot of ideas, but sometimes it is not possible for a tech people to implement those because like if you see one splash screen or something like that, it might take minutes for designer to design it, but on tech side it may take 8 hours, 9 hours to just design that animation. So how
Great.
to resolve these kind of conflicts?
Okay, perfect. So what I do in this case kind of scenarios is I involve the developers in the process from the beginning. Okay, in all the ideation workshops or like whatever I'm doing, I always make them aware that, oh, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm planning to do, or like, you know, as you said, like the onboarding, splash screens, and all those things or animations. So whatever I'm doing, I always keep them updated about like what I'm doing. Okay, that's one thing. So second is basically try to develop a strong relationship with them. उनके साथ चाय पिया करो, अच्छा से कॉफी पिया करो. So it's all about building the relationship. Okay, whenever working in any company, build strong relationship with your colleagues, and उसके बाद में आपको कभी चिंता नहीं करनी पड़ेगी.
Okay.
So that's something that really works.
Regarding customer journey maps. Yeah, so it is like suppose like we have 3 different scenarios. One is that new user is coming to our application, and
Yeah.
second scenario can be an old user who are already a part of our application coming
Right.
to our application, but maybe he might expect some different customized solutions for his problem. Maybe
Correct.
whatever he wants. So do we have to define 2 different customer
Yes.
journey maps in terms of cohorts?
Yes, we have to. So one is for the existing. So there, what would we do is like we would start the journey from the stage when already is a part of our customer base. So basically, it's an existing user and how his experience has been, and if there is something that's troubling him, try to understand that and try to solve that problem. Okay, but if
Okay.
it's a new, then start from the beginning, like from the trigger point.
Okay, and one last question. Okay, so it's like, do you think that once we are onboarding a user, we should ask about like what he is expecting out of apps? Like we can ask, suppose like we are doing a fitness application, so we can ask him that whether he is a beginner or how much time he has been into fitness or what type of exercises he do.
Yes, that's personalization. Yes, you should do that. Always do
Okay,
that.
user will
Yeah.
not get like frustrated for filling lots of
No,
fields.
no.
Okay.
So that's why it's basically personalization. Okay, so we do that very often.
Okay, so we should do that at the time of sign up only.
Sign up or later on also.
Okay.
सीधा डैशबोर्ड पे ले जाओ, डैशबोर्ड में बोलो कि like, so this is a generic experience, do you want to personalize your experience? So give them the power, let him personalize whatever he wants.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, hi sir.
Hi,
This side.
Manpreet.
Okay, so one by one. Rohit first, and then Kakab. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Hi sir, this side Rohit. This is my first session. I was recommended by one of the friend. So
Okay.
it was really loving and enjoying from like past hours. So
Very nice.
my question, question is like I'm working as a graphic designer from past 1 year. So I'm trying to switch in a UI UX, but I have a more interest into a visual designer. So how I get into that? Like,
Perfect. So now if you want to get into a visual design, so what you should do is like if you just want to get into visual, okay, so then focus on 2 things.
Yeah.
One is master this UI skills, parallelly master the interaction skill. Okay, interaction design. So be very good in interaction. Like screen 1 से screen 2 में जाना है, तो उसको आपने regular moving from basically regular flow from one to the another, how can you make it more interesting? और basically अगर एक flow है, if in that flow, if the normal experience is like 3 screens, how can you just make it convert that into like 1 screen by using interaction? So master this UI skills. और इसमें ऐसा होना चाहिए कि like, you know, अगर मैंने आपको दिया कि बोला कि okay, so we have to create a dashboard, so you should be so good in this UI skills or this architecture, like defining the architecture, the wireframe of that screen, कि आपको एक बोले तो आप फटाफट 5 बना सके, 10 बना सके. आपको वो पैटर्न्स आपके दिमाग में घुसे होने चाहिए कि लाइक इसको इस तरह से भी कर सकते हैं, इस तरह से भी कर सकते हैं, इस तरह से भी कर सकते हैं. सो मास्टर द यूआई स्किल्स, टूल अच्छा से सीख लो और माइनट डिटेल्स लाइक राइट फॉन्ट साइज, राइट आइकन साइज, एंड ऑल्सो लाइक दी इफ यू हैव टू मेक समथिंग कलरफुल, तो वो कलरफुल कैसे बनाएंगे. अगर मान लो आप एक फैशन इंडस्ट्री के लिए मैप बना रहे हो तो उसकी क्या स्टाइल गाइड होनी चाहिए, राइट. इफ समथिंग यू आर मेकिंग फॉर द किड्स, सो उसका पूरा डिजाइन लैंग्वेज क्या होएगा. सो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द यूजर्स, कैसे डिजाइन होना चाहिए उसकी पूरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग कर लो, मास्टर दिस टूल्स एंड ऑल्सो दिस मास्टर दिस इंटरेक्शन डिजाइन. सो ये कर लोगे तो योर एप्लीकेशन है या फिर बेसिकली आपका जो यू विल स्टैंड आउट, राइट? और वही करना है हमने. फाइन. एंड हैव गुड work in your portfolio, like good ones, really good ones. Okay? तो वर्क में दिखाओ कि हाँ मैं एकदम अलग हूँ दुनिया से.
Sure, but as in India, the companies didn't like hire UX, UI, UX person as a specialist. They hire only generalist.
See, generalists इसलिए hire करते हैं because this startups and all, but the big companies they hire this UI ones also. So अपने आप को इतना अच्छा करके रखो ना कि like वो खुद आपके पास आके बोले कि like can you join us or like would you like to join us instead of you going and approaching them. इतना अच्छा अपना शोकेस करो वर्क को कि लोग आपका वेबसाइट बुक मार्क करके रखें, राइट? और ऐसा होना चाहिए कि आपका जो वेबसाइट है वो लोगों के बीच में घूमना चाहिए. I'll give you one example. So I was working in this company and हम लोग मतलब ना लेट तक काम करते थे वहाँ पे. तो एक दिन शाम को हम लोग मतलब करीब 7 बज रहे थे, तो हम लोग कॉफ़ी पी चाय पी के बैठे थे. तो उसी समय क्या होता है कि एक मेल आता है मेरे बॉस को कि चेक दिस गाइस वर्क. ओके, उस समय फ्लैश बहुत चलता था. तो उसने उस लड़के ने जो फ्लैश में बहुत अच्छी वेबसाइट बना रखी थी. ओके, बहुत इंटरैक्टिव, बहुत इंटरेक्शन वाली, एंड यूजिंग दिस एक्शन स्क्रिप्ट एंड ऑल. फ्लैश में एक्शन स्क्रिप्ट होता था, पहले कोडिंग होती थी, राइट? सो उसने मेरे बॉस को भेजी, मेरे बॉस ने एक किसी और को भेजी, उसने मुझे भेजी, मैंने आगे भेजा, उसने 10 लोगों को भेजा. सो आधे घंटे के अंदर में वो पूरे फ्लोर में वो लिंक फैला हुआ था. व्हाई? बिकॉज दैट वाज आउटस्टैंडिंग वर्क, राइट? सो डू दैट काइंड ऑफ वर्क. तो ऐसा करो कि आप मार्केट ना करो अपनी, दूसरे लोग आपकी मार्केटिंग करना शुरू करें. सो एम फॉर दैट. ओके, उसके बाद में आप अप्लाई नहीं करना पड़ेगा. पीपल विल स्टार्ट अप्रोचिंग यू.
So like if I get into a user designer, so should I be like be in a research part of thing also?
Yeah, why not? Like तभी तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि like UX तो सीख ही लो. That's very important. Understand, because आप भी जब UI डिजाइन करते हो तो आप भी तो रिसर्च करते होगे ना कि इस इंडस्ट्री का अगर मुझे बनाना है, इंडस्ट्री में कैसे होना चाहिए, क्या पैटर्न्स है, क्या फ्लोज होते हैं, क्या एक्सपीरियंस होते हैं. सो एक्चुअली यू आर डूइंग सम पार्ट ऑफ दिस UX, बट नाउ सिंस यू वांट टू गेट इनटू दिस सीरियसली, like follow this whole UX process, ना full end-to-end UX process when designing, and it's not that complex. We already do like most of these things of create these kind of artifacts or like follow this process. So do that. ठीक है. So now let's move on. I think like we have already spent good amount of time here. So एक बार फटाफट कर लेते हैं सारे. या जीवन, Kaukab, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Manpreet.
Hey, hi, Kaukab. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So my question is like while doing research, how to actually choose the best approach, the best method for a project, like the project that I'm currently working on. So I'm actually getting confused between user interviews and focus group. Like if I will conduct a focus group, how would be the insights gathered from it would be different from user interviews. So like what can I expect from conducting a focus group, or if I would go with one-on-one interviews, user interviews, like what would be the difference between the insights gathered?
See, focus will be like specific to something, specific to a point, right? But in the interview you can get like a lot of different additional insights. So again, it depends upon like what you're working on. If you're working on something very specific, then very specific in the sense like small feature or something like that, or a section of the app or a solution, then you can go with the focus. Otherwise, if you are starting something and want to get more details from the user, then go with the interview.
All right. So, okay. Thank you so much. That was the question actually.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome. Yeah, Sanjot.
Yeah, what I wanted to know is that when it comes to a case study, what I heard was that you just have to do or show what you've done. So sometimes what we do is we try to take inspiration or refer to other case studies. So if they have done a lot of research, does it mean that if my case study was simple or if it was easier and if it doesn't have that many points, like let's say I'm working on an app that doesn't really need what do you call that, customer journey map, because it's simple, it's just out there, you can just look at it and tell what it's for. or something like that. So if I don't put in those things, will it still be just as effective, or do I just have to make something up so that I can show them that I can also?
So mention that in the case study that yes, since this was very obvious and it was very simple experience, so we had an understanding that yes, this is the common journey. So, but do mention something. Don't need to like create full complete journey map, but it's good to present that. But it's not necessary that you also need to create a very complex one, like full detailed one. But I'll tell you, I have a student who worked in a team and just only focused on the UX copywriting and some research part. So when she was presenting the case study, she only focused on these two things. Though she talked about everything, like, I worked in the team and the final product was this, but my role was only the UX research. And in the research, I did these three things in the UI and everything. So whatever copy is there, so that was done by me. So that's how she presented her case study. And it was like,
it's fine if you're not good at one of these things, and you just tell them that I'm good at the other part. Like for example, with me, I can do UX better than UI because I've been developing apps more, so I know what kind of problems people face. But I've never been into design. So when it comes to UI, I have to take inspiration from other things.
You don't need to do the UI. You just, if you want, you can just present a paper prototype also. That's also enough. That's also more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, I had two questions.
Yeah.
The first one is like to make personas, do we need both like qualitative and quantitative data? Both the datas are important, or do we have a limited data? We can just proceed with the persona.
So the core idea is what? Core idea is to understand like who the target users are, right?
Yes.
So whether you are able to understand that through qualitative or quantitative, you can use both, right? So end में what do we want? We want to understand like who are the end users and for whom are we creating the product, right? And what are their needs? If you during the research, if you understand that there are like two different kind of like users with different needs and expectations, then yes. So in this case, if you can take help of qualitative data or quantitative data, it's all okay. Fine.
Like is it any sort of necessary to create a different age groups people in the persona, or it goes on like
it all depends upon the need. Okay. Users need, but again, like there could be a lot of factors. Like if you're developing an application, and in that, if the important factor is, for example, age, then yes, that you will have to decide or define the persona basis the age. If it's the app is about the technical expertise, then that could be like the factor that would have to be like considered as the base for defining the persona. So again, depending upon like what you're working, who is the target user group, you'll have to like select basically consider different factors and then create the persona.
So example, like for example, we were working on the cloud-based system project. So here, considering the age group is also important, because the people in our age group are morely dependent on the cloud-based app for the storage system, whereas our parents are more of the thinking like we should store in the memory drive or the phone gallery.
Yeah.
Correct. So both the personas are important thing.
But now what you need to understand is like who is primary persona, our age group, who is expert in technology, right? So you will first try to create or give them the best experience, and also try to think like, okay, so now we have good experience, or we are building this good experience for this kind of users, but now how can we solve or meet the needs of the other user group? That's the old people. Okay. So you might change the experience of the application basis the age. Like for example, during the registration, if somebody said that I am like 60 years old, right? Then what you can do is you can customize the experience, and then it should only have the minimal features. But for one who is like of our age and who is very expert in technology, you can give him advanced features also. Like adding multiple devices and so on, XYZ. You can give them more control.
Yeah. Sir, one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So after finalizing the design of the app, like the final ones, do we actually need every time we need feedback of the user, or we can just proceed without that?
Okay, so like if it's your first time, Okay, so first time if you have designed hi-fi screens, so then yes, you should always go and test it, get feedback, and after the feedback, or basically if the feedback is very minimal, like changing few icons or changing some text, then you can straight away change the text and the icons and minimal few things, then and get to the development. But if the change is big, like the some change in some flows or the experience and so on, so then in that case you should go and test again with the user.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Like users, like if for example, I have been working for a company and I have designed a app for them. Then I'll be obviously discussing the things with the owners and the company members and my colleagues and all that people. So at some point they will be my users also. Now, like they can be my users.
Yeah. They can be users. Yes, they can be.
So their feedback can be a type of feedback I get from the user, or like proper users I should get away from the colleagues and people.
You should get, and also from the seniors also, because senior has their own expertise, right? They have experience in that vertical, in that industry, right? So you should take their feedback and then later get that feedback validated from the end user.
The layman.
Yeah, the layman, the end user, basically, the real user.
Yeah.
The real
okay, so okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Neha.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Hi, sir. Like one more thing, like the process what a UX designer use, right? That process explicitly how you are conducting, because there are many tools. It's not just the interviews. Generally, wherever we go, it's like we have conducted interviews, we have conducted surveys. Apart from surveys and interviews, there are other tools as well, what we can use as a part of UX, right? In order to research better. So, like from where I can get insight of all those things. I know the tools, but I'm not explicitly getting a chance to execute them, you can say, or put them in practice.
Fine. So what I'll do, I have one slide on that. So I'll share a slide in the group. Okay. So just go through that and try to understand like what those methods are. So I'm not going to teach every method because it's very complex. Okay.
Yeah, I know that. That's fine.
Yeah, if I'll start teaching that, then this will be like a 1 year or 6 months workshop. So what I'm just trying to do, like I'm first trying to set the foundation, and once the foundation is there and once the basic concept is there, I want you to develop that problem solving skills. Okay, rest this methods and all you can learn and you can do that, right? So this basically the basic method I want to introduce you to, the basic methods. First master this basic ones or the most used ones, and then get into this. Like I think you only mentioned this, like the
service blueprint, right.
Yeah. तो सर्विस ब्लूप्रिंट भी क्या है, तो वो भी एक एक्सपीरियंस है, एक आर्टिफैक्ट है.
Yeah, that's an artifact which I can use as a part of UX research.
Yes, yeah, you can do that. Okay, like how the user is serviced and how is the relationship between the user, the company.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I know the terminologies, I know the advanced tools names, but I'm not getting a chance, or you can say I'm not getting a proper, because as you said, in companies generally they don't go that deep and don't use those extensive tools, right? So
yeah, but they use, but like in big companies, not in small startups and all. Okay. Startups जो कि very focused are customers and which are like customer centric, they do create these things.
Okay.
But someone like who's just like doing design and development and all, they don't focus. They don't even focus on वो तो UX में भी focus नहीं करते.
Yeah, I know that. So my main concern was like I should know it from my own end. Like I am learning, so how can I rectify if I went wrong in that particular process?
That's a good thing. So what you can do is when reading this, list down all the different artifacts that you're reading and you want to learn. Okay, so just let me know and try to like set up some other event and try to explain those.